As a result, you begin paying attention to consistency rather than promises. You observe how people behave when they're disappointed, frustrated, or no longer benefiting from the relationship. You stop being impressed by charm alone. Character matters more. Your trust threshold becomes higher, not because you're incapable of love, but because you've learned the cost of giving it carelessly. When you put all of these traits together, the picture starts to look different. You notice insincerity quickly. You long for deeper conversations. Social interactions require more energy from you than they seem to require from others. You don't build your identity around external validation, and you protect your trust because you've experienced what happens when it's placed in the wrong hands. In a world that often celebrates constant connection, endless social activity, and the appearance of popularity, it's easy to assume that having only a few friends means you're failing. But sometimes it simply means that you're selective about who gets access to your inner world. This doesn't mean that solitude should become a permanent wall between you and everyone else. It simply means that being alone isn't always a punishment. Sometimes it's a period of understanding yourself more clearly. It's where you identify your values, recognize your patterns, and become honest about what you need from the people you allow into your life. It's where you stop apologizing for requiring honesty, consistency, and depth in your relationships. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need to collect hundreds of connections just to prove your worth. What you need are a few people who value sincerity as much as you do, people who show up consistently, people who don't require you to abandon yourself in order to belong. So, if you have very few friends, don't immediately assume that something is wrong with you. Maybe your standards are different. Maybe your sensitivity runs deeper. Maybe you've learned that protecting your peace matters more than seeking approval from people who never truly see you. Having a smaller circle doesn't automatically mean you're lonely, and it certainly doesn't mean you're defective. Sometimes it simply means you've chosen quality over quantity. Until the right people enter your life, your solitude can become a space for growth rather than shame. A place where you learn who you are without the noise of constant performance. A place where you remember that being alone and being abandoned are not the same thing. And when the people who genuinely align with your values eventually arrive, you'll recognize them not because they demand access to your life, but because they earn your trust through honesty, consistency, and understanding. You don't need everyone, you never did. You only need the people who allow you to remain fully yourself without asking you to someone else in order to be accepted.